Imagine a dance party so wild it didn't stop for days, even weeks. Now imagine it wasn't for fun, it was deadly. Welcome to one of the strangest events in history, the Dancing Plague of 1518. Hey everyone, it's Kat here, and today we're diving into something completely different but still kind of related to dance. Well, in the weirdest way possible. If you've been around my channel, you know I love all things dance, but this time we're stepping onto the dark side of the dance floor. So, here's the deal. I stumbled across this bizarre piece of history called the Dancing Plague, and let me tell you, it had me hooked. Like, people literally danced themselves to death. Like, I thought this can't be real, but spoiler alert, it 100% happened, and it absolutely is insane as it sounds. So, grab a snack, get back, and let's unravel the chaotic, mind-blowing, and tragic story of the Dancing Plague of 1518. Trust me, you won't believe this one. What was the Dancing Plague? Okay, so the Dancing Plague, also known as the Dance Epidemic of 1518, was one of the strangest events in human history. Picture this. It's the summer of 1518 in Strasbourg, which was part of the Holy Roman Empire, modern-day France. Life was tough. Famine, disease, poverty, you name it. But then something truly bizarre happened. One day, a woman named Frau Trophy, now I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry if I am, walked out into the street and started dancing. And no, I don't mean a little shimmy or a casual groove. I mean she danced non-stop for hours. People were probably like, is she okay? Spoiler, she was not. How it spread. Here's where things get crazier. Within days, more people joined her. By the end of the week, dozens of people were dancing uncontrollably. By the time a month had passed, about 400 people were in the streets, dancing like their lives depended on it. And the thing is, they couldn't stop. No matter how tired or in pain they were, their bodies just kept moving. People were collapsing from sheer exhaustion. Some even died from strokes, heart attacks, or dehydration. That's why it's called the Dancing Plague. It wasn't just weird, it was deadly. Theories. Why did this happen? So, why did this happen? Great question! And guess what? Historians still don't fully know. But there are a few theories. Theory 1. Ergot poisoning. I think I could be pronouncing that wrong again. I'm sorry. This one's like straight out of a horror movie. Some experts believe the dancers might have eaten bread made with rye that was contaminated with a fungus called ergot. Ergot produces a substance similar to LSD, which can cause hallucinations and very weird behavior. So basically, people may have been tripping without even knowing it. Theory 2. Mass hysteria. Another theory is that this was mass hysteria brought on by stress. Life in 1518 wasn't exactly a picnic in the park. Famine, disease, and constant fear of war created a pressure cooker of anxiety. It's possible people's brains just snapped, leading to this bizarre outbreak of collective dancing. Theory 3. Religious or supernatural causes. Back then, people didn't have science to explain things. Some believe the dancing plague was a curse from Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers and epileptics. Sorry. Others thought it was a form of possession or punishment from God. To appease the supposed supernatural forces, authorities even built a shrine to Saint Vitus, hoping it will stop the madness. How long did it last? Well, the dancing plague lasted for about 2 months, starting in July and finally fizzling out by September. But by then, the damage was already done. People had died, and the survivors were left traumatized. Why is it so fascinating? Well, this event is like the ultimate unsolved mystery. It's not just about the dancing, it's about the human condition. Why do we react to stress or fear in such an extreme ways? And could something like this even happen again? Fun fact break! Okay, quick fun fact for you. This wasn't even the first time something like this happened. Similar outbreaks were recorded in the 14th and 15th centuries. So yeah, apparently this wasn't just a one-time thing. Creepy, right? The role of medicine and authorities. Now, let's talk about how the authorities handled this whole chaotic mess. Because, wow, it's a story in itself. Back in 1518, medical science wasn't exactly thriving. People didn't have the tools to understand what was happening, so the explanations ranged from curses to divine punishment. Doctors of the time believed the dancing was caused by hot blood. And no, that's not a metaphor. It was an actual medical theory back then. They thought the blood was overheated, leading to uncontrollable movement. So their solution? Let them dance it out. Seriously? Because that's gonna help. They're all dropping like flies. It's obviously contagious. That shit. Authorities even hired musicians and professional dancers to keep the plague victims moving, thinking it would help them burn off the illness. Yeah, they threw a full-on party for the afflicted. Spoiler! This only made things worse. More people joined in and the death toll kept climbing. Like, did they not get the picture then? Eventually, when the dancing didn't stop, they decided to take a whole different approach. The city set up processions to Saint Vitus, the saint that they believed was responsible for this ordeal. People were taken to a shrine outside the city where they prayed for healing and were sprinkled with holy water. After weeks of this, the dancing finally began to subside. The aftermath. Once the dancing plague ended, the city was left reeling. Families had lost loved ones, and many survivors were permanently injured from the intense physical strain. Imagine dancing for hours on end. You'd wreck your muscles, your joints, and your whole body. Sorry. But the emotional toll was just as significant. People were terrified that this could happen again, and with no clear answers, fear hung over the region like a cloud. Some even avoided dancing for years afterwards, worried it might spark another outbreak. So, could it happen today? So, could something like the dancing plague happen again? Well, technically, yes, I guess. Though not in the same way. Modern medicine and science have ruled out ergot poisoning as the primary cause, but mass hysteria or the psychogenic illness can still occur. We've seen similar outbreaks in the form of laughter epidemics, fainting spells, or other unexplained behavior in tightly knit communities. But here's the good news. Shit, cannot stop coughing. But here's the good news again. We're a lot better equipped to handle these phenomena today, and while we might never know exactly what caused the dancing plague, it remains one of the weirdest reminders of how complex and mysterious the human mind and body can be. And I've always said this, like, it's remarkable but also scary on what our brains are capable of. And there you have it. The wild, tragic, and utterly mind blowing of the dancing plague of 1518. I mean, who knew history could be this bizarre? If you found this as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments. What do you think caused the dancing plague? Was it stress, bad bread, or something supernatural? I'd love to hear your theories. So, thanks for tuning in to this slightly darker but totally fascinating detour into the world of dance. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep dancing, but maybe not too much. Catch you later.